Imagine a world where Vladimir Putin never became the president of Russia. Instead, Boris Nemtsov or another opposition leader like Alexei Navalny or Ilya Yashin rose to power. What would this alternate reality look like? To answer this, we need to rethink Russia's political, economic, and social landscape over the past 20 years and see how a democratic leadership might have changed the nation and the world. A new start: democratic reforms and economic growth. Under the leadership of Boris Nemtsov, a strong reformist, Russia's government would have focused on democratic values, openness, and the rule of law. The state, which has long been affected by corruption and power plays, would have seen a major cleanup. This move towards a more open government would encourage fair elections, an independent court system, and freedom of the press. Economically, a democratic Russia would try to move away from relying only on oil and gas. Nemtsov's policies would aim to make Russia part of the global economy by building stronger ties with Western countries, attracting international investments, and boosting local businesses. Unlike Putin's preference for state control and favoring big companies, a more open market would help small and medium businesses grow, pushing tech and new ideas forward, much like other European countries such as Estonia. International relations, a move away from aggression. A Russia led by Nemtsov, Navalny, or Yashin would likely avoid the aggressive moves that have marked Putin's time in office. Conflicts like those in Georgia in 2008 and Ukraine 2014-2022 until now would probably never happen. Instead, democratic leaders would choose diplomacy and friendly partnerships with nearby countries. In this world, Ukraine and Georgia might never face the military actions that damaged their peace and independence. The annexation of Crimea, criticized by the world, would not happen. Russia's ties with NATO would be careful but cooperative, reducing the need for military buildup on both sides. A democratic Russia would lead to more stable relationships in Eastern Europe and fewer threats of war. Russia's relationship with global powers, the US, China, and India. With new leadership, Russia's connections with major global powers would change a lot. The US and Russia could have a more positive relationship. Without the past issues of military tensions and election interference, both countries might work together on shared interests like fighting terrorism, climate action, and space exploration. Diplomatic channels would be more open, leading to more cooperation on big world problems. Russia's approach to China would also change. Instead of unequal relationship seen under Putin, where Russia depended heavily on China, a more balanced partnership would emerge. Trade deals would focus on technology and industry instead of just energy. While Russia would still work with groups like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it will do so with more focus on trade and mutual benefit. With India, which has always been an important partner, Russia would work on building ties in technology and industry. Projects in IT, space tech, and defense would continue but would be more open and transparent, strengthening the bond between the two countries and helping create stability in the region. A free society, social reforms. One of the biggest changes under a leader like Nemtsov or Navalny would be the freedom enjoyed by Russian citizens. Unlike the strict control and censorship under Putin, independent media would thrive, and the government would be held responsible. Groups and activists would be able to work freely, creating a lively public discussion. Social reforms would take a more modern path, fixing problems like corruption in the courts and inequality. Efforts to improve education and healthcare would match changes seen in other democratic countries, making them more accessible and better for everyone. Technology and AI, a modern Russia. In a democratic Russia, technology would play a major role. Instead of state-run giants that stop smaller companies from growing, a freer market would support startups and work with global tech leaders. Universities and research centers would be more independent, teaming up with other countries to push forward in fields like AI, robotics, and advanced technology. AI development would see huge progress. With fewer limits and sharing knowledge and resources, Russian tech companies could join in global AI projects, adding their own research and learning from others. This kind of competition would create an environment similar to Silicon Valley, making Russia an important player in the tech world. Projects for smaller cities, AI in healthcare, and better online security would become main parts of Russia's progress. Russia and its neighbors, a new kind of partnership. Countries near Russia, especially those once part of the Soviet Union, would feel less threatened. Economic projects with former Soviet republics could turn into win-win partnerships. Ideas like Eurasian Economic Union would focus more on trade and joint growth rather than political control. Ukraine's move to join the European Union and NATO could happen without any pushback, creating better trade and security links. The fear of war in places like Donbass and South Ossetia would be replaced by talks and cooperations, letting these areas grow in peace. Business and economy, a boom under freedom. With less government control, Russia's economy would grow like never before. The pressure the Kremlin put on big companies, stopping new ideas under Putin, would be gone. This change would make Russia more attractive to investors and business people, creating a diverse economy that includes industry, technology, and services. Nemtsov's economic plan would push Russia into a boom similar to what Poland experienced after communism ended. Clearer rules, fair competition, and honesty would bring in global partnership and encourage local growth. Learning from history, damage under Putin, and what could have been. To see the potential of a democratic Russia, it's helpful to think about what has happened under Putin. The wars in Georgia and Ukraine have caused many deaths, forced people to leave their homes, and brought economic sanctions. The takeover of Crimea cut Russia off the world and hurt its economy. Under Nemtsov or similar leader, these aggressive moves would not happen. A democratic Russia would likely support world rules and peaceful solutions, helping itself and the world. Without military actions, Russia would avoid the sanctions that have hurt its economy and chances for growth. Challenges and realities. Even with democratic leadership, challenges would remain. The history of Soviet-style central control, deep corruption, and powerful groups would take time and effort to fix. Pushback from nationalist groups and former power holders would test any reform-minded government. But with ongoing work, the dream of a Russia that values free markets, open borders, and peaceful relations with its neighbors could become real. Freedom would allow a new generation to join global conversations and create new ideas, while businesses and culture would grow without government limits. Conclusion: a new future for Russia. Thinking of Russia as a democratic state without Putin's aggressive policies shows a picture full of promise. The country could shift from being a world challenger to a world partner. With smart use of its huge resources, Russia could improve life for its people while promoting peace and progress. Under leaders like Nemtsov, Navalny, or Yashin, Russia could stand as a nation based on democracy, respect for other countries, and economic strength. This vision is very different from today's reality, but shows how different choices at key times could have led to a freer, more peaceful world. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to this channel.